I am about to become a college student, and driving skills could be handy in daily living. With that said, my dad sent me to learn at a driving school. Now, for noobs, there are two types of cars, manual gear and automatic gear. Manual gear cars require you to change the gear selection accordingly as the car speed changes, while automatic gear cars do all that for you. As a person who is about to become a medical student, there should be no need to be super skilled at driving, since cars with automatic gear should always be an available option.
You should learn manual gear car
Why?
because you would be able to drive both manual and automatic.
Sounds like a pretty valid reason, right? The driving school is on the way from my house to the main city. Coming from my house, turn right on the four-way intersection and continue driving for about 10 minutes. The school also has a service for driving students from and to the intersection, so they can catch public transport, which is more common on the main road. I get dropped off there and have the instructors drive them to the school. The driving course I took was 5 days of 2-hour classes and a test day. I initially asked for picks up and drops off services on day 2 to day 4. However, my class got cancelled on the first day, and I will be having classes on day 2 to 6 instead. It turned out my dad was free, so he drove me to the school. Upon arriving, I received a phone call. Hello?
Is this Jimken?
Yup, who's this?
Your instructor.
Oh, what's the matter?
Where are you? I'm waiting to pick you up at the four-way intersection.
I totally forgot to cancel the pickup. After troubling my instructor by making her drive all the way to and back from the intersection for nothing, she told me that I can actually cancel or request the pickup service one day before class by sending a message to the manager. We then proceeded to the lessons. The school had its own simulated roads and intersections reserved for students only to let them practice without danger from traffic, which is really nice.
Here is all manual gear cars have 3 pedals instead of 2. Gas, brake, and clutch pedal. You hold down the clutch pedal when you start the engine before start moving, and the number 5 gear selection is for when the speed is greater than or about 80 kilometers per hour.
Then, it was my turn to drive.
Hold the brake and clutch pedal.
Holding,
Release the parking brake.
placing the parking brake,
Select the number 1 gear.
number 1 gear.
Now, lift your foot off the brake pedal and slowly release the clutch pedal.
In a manual gear sedan car, it is very easy to get your engine flame out if you release the clutch pedal too quickly at low speed because of low engine power.
Okay, start turning left.
Turning left.
Release the clutch pedal slowly to gain some speed.
Now, it's time to learn about changing gear number selection. In the car I was practicing, gear number 1 was top left, and gear number 2 was bottom left. So, to change from gear number 1 to number 2, it is pulling down, left, and then down.
Now change to gear number 2.
My dad also dropped me off at the school today, and I did not make my instructor do a 20-minute waste of time drive. After practicing a bit about what I learned yesterday, the instructor took me out onto the railroad. She drove for a bit, then turned the car to a road where there was less traffic. We switched places, and I was the one driving. The speed limit was 60 kilometers per hour, or 37 mph if you are an American. So I was driving on gear number 4. Surprisingly, the ride was actually uneventful and went really well, until I have to return to the school. The school entrance was higher than the main road, and I needed to make a 90-degree left turn, which also meant that I needed to slow down and go up a slope at a low speed. I was able to turn and brought the car onto the slope. The problem was, the car would go down back the slope if I released the brake pedal.
Release the clutch pedal just a little bit. When you release the brake, quickly push the gas pedal and
Again, my dad dropped me off at the school, but I would need the instructor to take me to the four-way intersection after the class today. The lesson was about driving the car backward, which will be used a lot when trying to park.
drive ahead a little bit. Okay, now select the reverse gear.
After the instructor dropped me off at the intersection and I got home, I sent a message to the manager. For tomorrow, can my instructor drop me off just like today?
Okay.
Thank you. My dad dropped me off at the school. Hello?
Where are you? I'm waiting to pick you up at the four-way intersection.
But tomorrow can my instructor drop me off just like today? After causing my instructor trouble yet again, I got to practice going up a slope, which I finally nailed it. We then went outside onto the railroad, but this time I was the one driving from the start to the end. The speed limit of the main road was 90 km per hour, or 56 mph if you are an American. So this time, I used gear number 5 and was driving quite kind of fast.
Okay, now do you see the sign ahead? We are going to turn left there. Slow the car down, then please tap on the brake.
It was the final day before the test. My dad dropped me off and would be picking me up from school. I re-practiced everything and went outside onto the railroad to get more driving experience. Now, I should be ready to take on the test, right? There were just 3 tasks to be tested on: parking on the roadside to test precision, going reverse into parking between cars to test backward driving skills, and driving forward and then backward between cones and the lines to test handling skills. I totally nailed the roadside parking. Reverse driving into parking was challenging for many students, but I also totally nailed it as well. The remaining task was the simplest one, just driving forward and back. Since I've been doing well and driving on real roads was a total breeze, this task could not have been a problem. That was easy. Now I can finally go get my driving license.
Hey kid, you overtuned the line.
If you find this video, then smash that like and sub button and smash that share button to send this to your friends. Do it, or I will come and smash your